Hello friends, Audrey Henley here. Today we're going to be talking about arcs are free and some other big picture things I've been thinking about. If you are a big Authortube fan, I'm sure you have been watching a lot of videos by some bigger creators that have explained the situation, what's going on. But just to recap, the biggest thing that people are talking about is Kristen Martin, the Authortuber, essentially selling arcs of her book for $150. Arcs are advanced reader copies, and they're generally given away for free in exchange for reviewers promising to take a look and potentially review, not even definitely review that book. And the review can be positive or negative. I'm going to link below to some videos that explain a little bit more about arcs and why this is a big deal and why selling arcs is an ethically questionable practice. I'm not going to get too much into that in this video. I think some other creators have done a really good job of addressing the bigger issues, and I just kind of wanted to film a response. So I've been pre-filming a lot of videos in advance, and they're very basic videos, and the one I actually had scheduled for Wednesday, which I'm hoping if I edit this soon enough will be this one. The one I was going to post was reviews of my favorite books growing up. You know, I haven't been in this community very long. My channel has been up for maybe about a month. I'm a smaller creator, and so I didn't really have to jump in and get involved, but some personal and also just global things have been happening that have made me think about speaking out and when you would want to speak out, why it matters. And I'm going to get specific here, and I'm going to potentially scare away some subscribers, so get ready. What I've been thinking about is the very strict abortion laws that have passed in the United States. Essentially, they're making it very hard or impossible for women to get abortions, and they're also punishing women for having miscarriages. There's all sorts of crap going on, and you can read some resources. I'll link down below, and also I'll link the Yellowhammer Fund in the abortion. I can't remember the name for it, but there's a national fund you can give to help women get abortions. Anyway, what the heck does that have to do with Authortube? Nothing really. It's just that, you know, we've been living in a world that is slowly becoming a little bit, like, this country is becoming a very different place. And freedoms are getting taken away slowly, and all these things are happening slowly. And it's sort of like being a lobster in a pot and watching it boil and not getting out. This was one of the first news stories that has really affected me. Like, I was in a writing slump for a really long time. I wanted to do something. I actually, on Twitter, I said I would do a free critique for anyone who gave $50 to the Yellowhammer Fund. I'll go ahead and extend that offer here. No one took me out on it on Twitter. The reason I did that was I felt like my account has been so non-political. Like, I like a lot of political things, but I never retweet, hardly ever retweet, and then also just never post it myself. I'm very focused on the writing part. And I think the same could be said for this Authortube situation. I could just keep posting, oh, these are my favorite books. Here's ways to define character motivation. Here are all these things. Look over here, and not talk about some of the bigger issues in the community. I've decided I'm not that kind of person, and I do want to speak out, you know, and I'm a shy person, and I'm not one of those people who wants to do my main form of activism on social media, but I do just want to put it out there and let people know my beliefs, and let people know, hey, I stand with you, and I'm sorry this is happening to you. I want to say to people whose reproductive rights are being restricted, I'm sorry, and I hear you. I just want want to be there and be open for people and not be another bystander who's just not doing anything. It doesn't seem like a lot. It doesn't, and in the grand scheme of things, I don't know if it is, but for me, I just morally can't say nothing. I believe that people should have access to reproductive health, reproductive rights. Should be everywhere. And I also believe that the environment is in a disaster right now and we have to try to fix it. I'm a vegan. I am trying to avoid palm oil. I want to help save the orangutans. I'm a big hippie. And the three, I'm bi. And I'm an ally to everyone in the LGBTQIA plus community and love them and support them. And I want more diverse voices in literature. So, putting that out there for the record. Feel free to unsubscribe if you don't like any of that, but whatever. I just wanted to put that out there and say, like, this is who I am, and I'm going to try not to hide parts of myself that might be inconvenient and might lower sub counts or whatever, because I'd rather have subscribers who are, you know, maybe not necessarily in agreement with me, but willing to respect what I have to say, than having people who think I'm someone I'm not. And so, connecting back to YouTube, Authortube, I just want everyone to know I don't think selling ARCs is okay. Putting that one out there. I don't care to get much into anything else that people are, the specifics, talking about Kristen Martin. Like, I don't really care to get into all that, but I just want to say, like, I think selling ARCs is wrong. And I watched Jenna Streety's video, and the thing that was interesting to me was that she said that a lot of people in Authortube, sort of in the know people, which I am not, were sort of waiting for a moment to call Kristen Martin out. And this was something that was objectively wrong that they could point to. She talks a lot about the difficulty people have in speaking out. No one wants to shake the boat. And for a smaller creator like me, who literally just started, it can be hard to want to speak out. But I just decided, here I am, with the few subscribers I have, I'm just gonna put it out there, and these are my thoughts. I am small potatoes, but here's another voice to add to the chorus. So some bigger things I wanted to talk about in this video as well. The first one is, why are authors so susceptible to scams, or I think maybe a more precise term would be like questionable investments? There's this course, and it's being promoted by someone who has like a few thousand subscribers on YouTube, and you really like their content, and you see them face to face, so you gain a trust with them. But then, do you go ahead and evaluate similar courses by other people? Do you look at the market? Do you see if anyone is offering a similar service for cheaper or for free? YouTube is such a personal platform, and I think that's why a lot of this is happening, because you see someone's face, you feel like you know them, and you want to trust them. You want to get to know them better and have even more interactions than just the comments, so you pay for a course. It breaks my heart, honestly. There was recently Danielle Smith, who was an literary agent, very highly respected, and then it turned out she wasn't always using ethical business practices. She was creating false offers from publishers. She was saying she was putting people on sub, but she wasn't. I'll link below to an article about her. I'm having trouble thinking of his name right now. There's also it's either an agent or an editor that recently came out as bluffing his way to the top of publishing. Like, he serially lied to employers, and kind of just got to the top of publishing by saying he'd done things that he hadn't actually done. And you hear about these kind of things again and again, and it's not just Authortube, it's the entire publishing industry. So I wanted to talk about why that is. Why do we have so many people, so many freelancers, editors, agents, like startup publishers that turn out to be vanity presses? Like, why do we have so many different... Why do authors make such an easy target? So there's a few reasons, and one I want to talk about is a lot of writers, they know they want to write when they're really young. Like for me, I knew before 7th grade that I wanted to be a writer, and that was my goal in life. And if I had been watching YouTube at that point, I would have been so susceptible to questionable investments. There's this nice person talking to me, they know more about writing than I do, okay, I'll pay whatever amount for your course. Another thing is there isn't a formal training system to become an author. There's no certification. You're a certified novelist now. It doesn't exist. MFAs, they get you used to trading your work with someone else, but do they teach you much about the actual publishing industry? Questionable. There are publishing institutes that are month-long ones in the summer, but they're not really geared toward writers. They're more geared toward people who are interested in jobs in publishing, and they're not going to teach you about writing. So there's no certified author certificate. There's no anything like that. There's no training. And so there's no agreed upon numbers. There's no standards for like, oh, you are, like you're a doctor, like, oh, you went through this many years of school and you've been a doctor for this many years and you've treated this, this, and this. You can name all those things. You can't do that with writing, with being an author. Another thing I want to compare this to is BeautyTube. So in BeautyTube, the thing I don't look for someone who's a certified cosmetologist who has treated celebrities or worked on celebrities' faces. I don't look at any of that. I look at their face, like the beginning, the before, and the after, right? So they can make their face go from this to this. I don't care what products they're using, how cheap they are. I don't care how much training or experience they have. Like a lot of beauty tubers are super young. I don't care about any of that. I care about how they look at the end. I care about how good they can make their makeup look. You can see it all on camera. The thing is, you can't see writing on camera. And so it's a different story. Writing is a harder thing to judge. It's more subjective, and look at someone's face and you're like, oh, I don't like how thick that eyeliner is. I don't like that. Next beauty tuber. And it doesn't feel personal. It feels like, oh, that's a different style. Not interested. But I think with Authortube it becomes really personal. You get to know a person and you trust them. And it's all about talking and seeing their face. You're not judging them on how they look, like with BeautyTube. Another thing about susceptibility to scams or questionable business investments is we put our dreams and self-worth at stake with writing, and so we really want to invest in our writing. We want to invest in our writing the way we invest in, say, beauty. We buy the best products, the ones that work the best for us, and we're happy to spend that money. We're happy to do things that we know are going to help us look better. And so with writing, you want to invest in things that are going to help you improve your craft. And what's, you see someone's face, you start to trust them, and they tell you they have a way to help improve your craft. You're gonna go for it. We want to put money into things we care about, but the thing with writing is the cost doesn't always equal the outcome. One, because it's subjective. Two, because someone's appearance, their friendliness, that doesn't equal good writing. It doesn't make them a good teacher. And even being a good writer doesn't ensure that they're going to be a good editor or teacher or anything. It just means they're a good writer. And this has frustrated me too. Like, as I've gotten older and, you know, I've been out of college for a few years, I'm like starting to, you know, have a full-time job and have a salary, and what I want to do with my extra money is spend it on writing because that's my goal, and, you know, that's where I want to put my money toward. It doesn't really work that way. Sometimes having an experience, traveling, taking a cooking class, maybe that'll help you writing more. Sometimes taking a course isn't the best step. Using free resources is a better investment. So, second thing I want to talk about was how it feels being new in Authortube, and then all this stuff is happening. So, as you all probably know, this channel is very new, like a month old. I'm a baby. I just did the Authortube newbie tag. I'm still getting used to editing, and each thumbnail looks ridiculously better than the next because I'm improving. And so all this stuff starts happening, and you know, I've been watching Authortubers for a while. To be honest, I just came into it naively thinking everyone in Authortube is friends, there's no behind the scenes drama, and everyone gets along, everyone is doing their best, and all of their services are genuine and can really help people. And this debacle has helped show me that's not true, and I'm really glad it's happening. You know, you watch a video, kind of skip the end, go to the next one. I think that's what actually happened with the Kristen Martin episode that started this whole thing. I had like watched part of it and I was like, oh cool, skip to the next one. Not really examining closely, not watching every single episode back to back and getting the weird patterns, not hyper-analyzing every part of that person's life. I didn't do any of that. I'm like, oh, I like that advice. Store in my head. On to the next video. That's really how I consume media, and I don't know what to say. I did not think about it, and I didn't. So it's been very strange being new to Authortube and having this all happen and not know whether I should speak out or not. But like I said before, I'm making a concerted effort in my life to speak out about more things. Next thing I want to say is I want to get better at reacting to current events in my videos. It's really hard because I only have certain times that I can film, and filming this was actually pretty hard. So my significant other is a musician and records, so a lot of the time I have to be pretty quiet. So all the videos I've filmed before this one, and a lot of the others that will slowly be released later on, they're all pre-recorded when he was gone, when he was out of the apartment. Those are the best times. I think the way I'll get around this is by doing some get ready with me videos. So like I'll just set the camera on my toilet or something while I'm doing makeup and talk to the camera while my SO is sleeping. That will be how I'll get around that. But I've got a full-time job, and my SO and I are both moonlighters, so we use a lot of our time trying to pursue creative outlets. And so filming vlogs is hard for me. I can't just film whenever I want. That said, I do want to say, like, I am a fan of advice videos. I do think anyone can give advice videos, because at the end of the day, if you don't like someone's advice, you can ignore their advice. And I think any amount of writing experience means you can give a little bit of advice about writing. Of course, you don't want people to like make up stuff, but I think most people on Authortube are genuine and mean it and give good advice. So I know I've done a lot of advice videos. Those are a lot easier to pre-film. I can't really pre-film a vlog video, but I think they're valuable. I do want to say here too, some experience I have. So I've worked in publishing as a production assistant for 2 years. So I've done things like copy edit, proofread, edit indexes, check proofs. I work in InDesign every day. I work in Photoshop all the time. So I have a lot of specific book experience. I think my You know, and as I continue to grow, I think my expertise in just how books are physically made could help a lot of writers. So I think I do have some expertise to share. That said, I'm not selling any courses. I don't have any agenda. I just want to be here for past me, basically. So past me in high school who had no one who believed in her writing dreams. That's who I'm here for. And you don't all have to be in high school, but hello to everyone who is. And I just want to say I see you, I support you, keep writing. Keep writing! That's what this channel's for. Would I sell copy editing, proofreading services if I lost my day job? I don't have time for that right now. I don't have time. I barely have time to have critique partners and have a YouTube channel and do social media. So I'm not at luxury to quit my day job, and I just don't have time to offer services. But I think someone who is, you know, creative pursuits is their full-time job, I totally understand if they want to offer proofreading and editing services. And I think that's so valuable, especially for self-published authors. They need some of those services to help create a better, more professional looking book. So just want to say, like, I don't think all services being offered or advertised on YouTube, they're not all bad. Just do your research. Be critical of everyone and not just get sucked in. And so I guess a big theme of this video is, like, you get to see someone's face, you start to trust them, but you still have to do all the same research. So make sure you do that. So for the last thing I wanted to end this video with, and a lot of these are going to be links. So the links on this video are going to be very long and extensive, but hopefully they will help. So what I'm going to link are some content that will give you a good idea of a creator and whether or not you can trust them. So first one, Social Blade. So Social Blade, you can put in someone's YouTube URL and see a projection of how much they're potentially making in YouTube dollars. So that doesn't, you know, doesn't include sponsorships or anything. It just says how much on AdSense that creator's making. So if they say, like, I'm making $100,000 a year just doing creative stuff, you can sort of fact check that. I'm also going to link to a video that Cavanaugh did on this, and she really describes how you can sort of estimate a creator's net worth just through creative pursuits. And this isn't to be nosy, it's just to sort of be able to fact check. Like, this person says that they're doing this, are they really? Good to know. Next is Review Meta. So Review Meta, you can, I don't think it works with Goodreads, but you can plug in an Amazon URL and it will give you an idea of how truthful and how honest those reviews are. So if there's like a bot going in and leaving positive reviews, the same stuff, this website's good at catching that. It's not 100%, you know, anything could happen. But if, like, they have a 90% questionable review, you know, like, okay, maybe this person has some fake reviews on their book. That's just good to know. You should know that that resource is there if you need to fact check anyway. Another link I have is Guru Gossip Authortube page. So, as the title suggests, you can get a little gossipy, but I just think it's important for people on Authortube to have an anonymous space to potentially say things that are bothering them about the community. I think that's important. So it's just an anonymous forum. You can go and let people know if you've had a bad experience with someone on Authortube. We need to be open and honest. It's important. A few other things to think about when you're looking at a creator. When you're looking at their course specifically, if you think about, okay, I'm going to sign up for a course, or I'm going to join their Patreon and go on a high tier to get these certain benefits. So here's a few things you should look at. So for courses, when you sign an agreement form for the course, does it state that you cannot give a negative review of the course? Think about all your purchases on eBay, on Amazon, on any online retailer. They don't make you sign that. You can leave negative reviews. That's important. That should not be restricted. That's shady. Okay? And then Their experience should be listed, some concrete details, and their books should be actually out in the world. So you should check on Amazon. Do they actually have a book out? Does it have reviews? Are those reviews real reviews? And is it for sale? That it should all check out. They should also be transparent about whether or not they self-published or traditionally published. So a way to check this is on Amazon, it lists the publisher, and it might still, even if it's self-published, there might be a publisher name. And so you can go look at that publisher and then Google that publisher and see if there are any other books besides this person's book that have been published by this publisher. There's nothing wrong with that. People, self-published people will make their own publishing house, and it's completely legitimate. I just want you to be able to check that if someone is saying that they got traditionally published and weren't. I don't actually know of people who've done that, but I think it's important for you to be able to know that. And then in the course, there should be concrete course objectives. There should be real benefits, and the course should give you materials that aren't just available for free on the web. They should be unique to that person, or offer like critiques, or do something that's, and let's just say this, like ARCs are free and don't ever pay for them. And this isn't specific to Authortube either. People will get an advanced reader copy for free and then try to sell it on Amazon, or probably eBay actually. Don't buy these. Don't buy these. Buy the book when it comes out like everyone else and support the author. I don't care if they're self-published, traditionally published, you have to go and support that author if you care about that author. Getting a book before everyone else like a month early, like, it's not worth it to get on that author's bad list. A few more qualifications I have. So I have a degree, a BA in English. A lot of people have that, but we're thrown out there. So what I want to leave you with in this weird video that is sort of about ARCs are free, but not really. I just wanted to give you a better sense of my channel and what my goals are, who I want to be, what I want this channel to be. So I'm not going to do a ton of vlogs because I don't have time to film them. I can't film all the time. But I do think I have some expertise and I have some advice that you can take or leave, and I'll give that, and I'll give you updates about my life, how writing is going, and just talk about issues like these, important issues about the publishing industry. And I want to say again, this channel is for past me. It's for writers who are just starting out, need some encouragement. I'm here for you, I believe in you, and I think you can do it. That's what this channel is for. So, not trying to sell anything here, not trying to... Okay guys, thank you so much for watching this kind of weird one. I just, you know, filmed this in a night and then edited it and put it up. That's my goal anyway. So, yeah. Give me a thumbs up if you like this. Give me a thumbs down if you don't like this. Leave a comment, let me know. And do the little bell thing. Okay. Love you guys. Bye.